Wait, was that muted the whole time? All right, I'm back now, right? I'm back. Dude, what is this? At least that was quick, dude. Thank you guys. That was only a minute. At least it wasn't too. You think you do like 800 shows after 2 years and you don't have the mic muted, but we're good now, right? We're good. Okay, good. All right, we're actually back. Hello, everybody. I thought something was wrong with my computer. We're good. Dude, I don't know why it does that. I just anyway. Hello, everybody. You know what the thing is? I think I switched one of the settings on the mic because I was trying to make it a little bit more crisp, and that turned off the actual mic. It is what it is. Anyway, every time this happens, I reference what I saw Meet Kevin do 2 years ago, where he was muted for 11 minutes straight. And then every time I feel better because I'm like, all right, at least it wasn't 11 minutes. It was 1 minute. So we're good to go. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We got quantum GTC stuff. We've got earnings after the bell. Nike, Fedex, Micron, semiconductor companies, consumer companies, all that stuff. So that's going to be really important to take a look at. We got some NVIDIA updates, some Tesla updates, a bunch of random things happening across the board in these growth stocks. But in general, nothing really is that different from what we saw in the market open. Everything's pretty much the way it was. Like NVIDIA was up 1% when I left. NVIDIA is up 1%. SoFi is down 0.5%. Carnival Cruise is up 1%. Grab is down 2%. Palantir is up 2%. Bitcoin, it was at 86 in the morning. Now it's at 84.3. I mean, nothing too crazy has happened throughout the day. It's one of those days where it's kind of a bit boring because everyone's waiting for April 2nd to kind of see what the Fed does and how they navigate this. But outside of that, we have individual headlines, but nothing that's necessarily affecting individual stocks that aggressively. Robinhood right here up about 1.68% on the day. I think the first thing we want to start off with is quantum, because quantum stocks are down pretty badly. Let me just pull up what we're looking at in the context of quantum. I didn't watch the NVIDIA quantum GTC stuff, but there was some quotes that were just not good. So for example, if we look at QBTS D-Wave, that thing is down about 18%, now about 17.5%. If we look at Rigetti, that is down 9%. And if we look at IONQ, that is down 10% as well. So what happened? Well, I think one of the executives said we are still a bit far away from seeing any meaningful progress in the context of quantum. And that's what really got those stocks to take a little bit of a hit. Let's get an update from that right here. And then we'll keep going from there. Yeah, I also saw some headlines that Jensen was kind of disrespecting them a bit more than usual.
It's been one of the most volatile trades over the past 6 months with names like quantum computing. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Mike. Well, the story of quantum computing stocks this year, really, you touched upon it, has been all about volatility. These stocks experience remarkable growth just over the last year. You've seen triple, quadruple digit percentage gains. And it really started when Alphabet announced their quantum chip breakthrough in early December. The sector saw a huge rise or spike. But then on January 8th, the sell-off continued, or you saw it really dip down. And that was after CEO Jensen Huang from NVIDIA stated at CES that quantum tech was likely 15 to 30 years away from practical implementation. The market reaction was immediate and severe, so you can really see that dip on your screen to the left of those. Rigetti fell 45%, D-Wave Quantum down 36%, IonQ down 39%, quantum computing 43%, all in a single trading session. So you get it. You see the volatility. And today's event, where NVIDIA's founder, CEO Jensen Huang, he's going to share the stage with 14 quantum CEOs. Not all of them are, CEOs of publicly traded companies, but there's going to be, it appears to be really an attempt to rebuild the relationship with the quantum computing sector.
And that relationship kind of went okay, kind of didn't. This is what the CEO of Rigetti said. It's available to anyone on AWS and Azure right now if we believe it's one of the best, but frankly, it's not good enough yet for any practical use, as we talked about earlier. And then Jensen Huang immediately cut him off. That's what happened. For any of those that were watching in real time, you saw this happen. I did not see it. Also, I don't know if there was a stream, because I saw some people on Twitter say they weren't streaming it. There were some clips here and there of people inside of the room together. All the CEOs were sitting with Jensen, but I don't know if there was an official stream. And as soon as he said that, that's when you had some volatility to the downside when it came to quantum. This is Jensen right there on stage with the CEOs. Jensen said, "It's an unfortunate assumption that we're building quantum computers to make spreadsheets faster. Quantum won't do that. It'll help humanity solve new problems classical computing can't ever solve and is unbound by Moore's law." Jensen also said he didn't know that these companies were public, which was funny because he was like, yeah, I didn't know these companies were public. But so he was kind of making a joke of when he like said his statement and these stocks collapsed. It's like, yeah, your stocks collapsed 50% because I didn't even know these companies were public. But that's how it played out. Here's another picture right here. Some of you guys are saying there was a stream. Okay, so then we'll try to get some clips of it in a little bit. But there's all the CEOs of the quantum companies with Jensen. Nonetheless, that's been the most volatile trade of the day, is this quantum downturn that we've seen. In general, markets are already a bit skeptical of a lot of the speculative things that are going on right here. The 10-year back up, it's down a little bit on the day, but at one point it was below 4.2. Now it's at 4.23. And yeah, I mean, it's not really going down as much as we want to see, but markets are also pretty stable. S&P 500, Bitcoin, and et cetera, not moving that much to the downside. S&P 500, barely down 0.2%. At one point, it was up 0.5%, really stuck in a range. And that range looks like it's going to continue to persist until we get some meaningful moves to the upside in regards to dealing with some of the volatility that we have with uncertainties. Another update right here, actually two updates. So this might happen at 4 p.m., might not. It's probably not going to happen exactly at 4 p.m., but Trump is going to be signing executive orders. The rumor of the executive order is that he is going to get rid of the Department of Education via executive order. We'll see if he does that. That would be quite surprising if that happens. I don't know how legal that is, but I guess we'll see if that plays out. So I'll give you guys that coverage if he goes live at 4. And then on top of that, we've got Perplexity, AI startup. They're raising at $18 billion. I know a couple of people that got into Perplexity at $9 billion. I don't personally really see the moat of the product, but they are growing fast, so I guess you could justify it. But I do think $18 billion is a bit aggressive, and it goes to show you that private market valuations are still a lot better than some of these public market valuations. And in Perplexity, it was a public stock. I don't think they would be worth $18 billion. I think they're barely doing like a couple $100 million of revenue, if even $100 million of revenue. So it's getting a multiple on growth and AI. The question is if that growth multiple continues to persist. We have earnings in 7 minutes. We're not going to listen to any of the earnings calls, but we are going to look at the results: Nike, Fedex, Micron, and Lennar. Let's listen to Tom Lee before we get into that. He was just on CNBC, and then we'll keep going from there.
With that theme, and maybe you can build on what Steve just told us. How do you interpret the Fed's move yesterday? Welcome.
Well, I think markets were positively surprised by the Fed's move, in part because recent staff papers from the Fed had argued tariffs would actually be multi-year inflationary effects. So Fed Chair Powell's comments yesterday, I think, did catch a lot of folks by surprise, just because it is a view that markets probably want to hear, that they'd like to hear that the Fed is viewing tariffs as possibly transitory, because that puts them in a position to actually intervene if labor markets start to weaken. And in fact, that's evident in the SEP, because 90% of Fed staffers now see not only risk to growth, the GDP growth forecast, but it was 90% seeing it as downside risk.
Steve, would you agree with that characterization, or how do you think the Fed or Goolsbee or a member like that might respond to the idea that they're still at the ready to support the economy?
They're at the ready to support the economy through keeping rates where they are right now. He kind of took off the table, or never has put on the table, this idea of hiking rates. I think it's a difficult and very interesting dance the Fed has to do here. I think there's an argument, and people I've talked to have supported this, of the Fed talking tough right now about inflation to make sure and play a role in the idea that the tariffs do not become a broader inflationary, have a broader inflationary effect, but then being ready as needed to address the downside. Right now,
It's been the absolute fear that has become systematic in markets around April 2nd and the tariff deadlines. And I think that there have been little hints this week that instead of April 2nd being the date of some sort of annihilation of trade relationships, that we may start to see either deals before then or even delays in implementation. And I think that really investors are going to breathe a sigh of relief, because as you can tell, pessimism has become very pervasive because of the fears of what will happen on April 2. So I think that's a positive. And then the other is, and it's really a technical perspective, but Mark Newton, our head of technical strategy, has pointed out there are increasing signs of that we've actually established a tradable bottom. And that's not only the fact that we declined so quickly, but it's that market breadth has really been expanding and then actually following through in a way that looks like this is not a 10% decline that's leading to a 20%, but a 10% waterfall decline / heart attack for stocks driven by rage selling. and now it's tradable.
Basically, there's a Fed put, we've bottomed, and we're probably not necessarily going that much lower. Maybe you got 3 to 4% back to that 549 level that we were at a couple days ago, but it's not one of those 2022 types of moments given how quick the velocity was of the downfall and where sentiment is right now. Palantir 87.49, all the quantum names again getting hit. IONQ down 10%, Rigetti down 8%, D-Wave down 18%. This is that clip of Jensen kind of making fun of the quantum stocks at the conference today.
In this case, is completely unrelated. We're announcing that NVIDIA we're going to open a quantum research lab in Boston. It's going to have yep. It will likely be the most advanced accelerated computing hybrid quantum computing research lab in the world. And it's going to be located in Boston so that we could partner with Harvard and MIT. And some of our partners are going to be in there initially, but many others will be working in this quantum research lab in the long term. Quantinuum, Quantum Machines, and QA are going to be the inaugural partners with us to build this quantum research lab. And so I'm very happy about that. And we're going to get that going as soon as possible. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce some of my CEO colleagues, and please join me to welcome them. Alan Baratz, D-Wave. And Subodh, come on stage. We're getting. Nice to see you. So I guess the first thing is sorry about that. That was funny.
I think we didn't see the quote in this, but what he said exactly was, I didn't know that these companies were public. How can quantum computing companies be public? I thought. So that was the specific quote. That's obviously throwing some shade that these companies are in no position to be public, which is why, Jensen was as aggressive with what he said in the context of quantum is so far away. And that's what tanked those stocks like 50% in a day back in January. These are the 4 companies we have on earnings. The poll is live. Which one do you think is going to outperform? Nike, Fedex, Micron, or Lennar? We should be getting these earnings by 4 to 4:05, and then we're going to see what it ends up looking like. And then we will keep going from there. In terms of earnings expectations, so let's look at that real quick. For Micron, Street wants $1.42 of EPS and $7.9 billion of revenue. For Nike, they want 29 cents of EPS, $11 billion of revenue. For Fedex, they want $4.63 of EPS, $21.8 billion of revenue. Lennar, they want $1.71 of EPS, $7.43 billion of revenue. I really have no idea which one's going to outperform. I'm going to throw a shot in the dark and say, I want to say Micron, but I also want to say Nike. I'm going to go with Nike. I'm going with Nike. I want to say Micron, though, but I'm going with Nike. Purely a guess. I'm going Nike. Maybe Nike outperforms. Their China exposure is not that good, though, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, let me know if anyone has these positions. These are some of the bigger earnings in regards to consumer stocks, semiconductor stocks, home builders. So we're going to take a look at how this all plays out as we get these earnings right now. 4 p.m. Thursday, March 20th. Thank you, everybody, for being here. The stock market is now closed. All right, markets are closed. The biggest thing we had today was some of the volatility to the downside on the quantum stocks. Everything else was relatively the same as the market open. S&P 500 down about 0.25%. Disney was down 1.4%. Amazon was down about 1%. Meta was down 0.3%. AMD was up 0.86%. AMD breaking through 107. Block was down about 0.5%. DraftKings was down 1/3%. You got the Dow Jones down basically flat, about 11 points. NASDAQ was down about 59 points. That one was also flat. Google, 165. Tesla actually ended green, 236 on the day. They had that Cybertruck, what do you call the thing? Pullback? Recall in the morning. And that also hurt them. That wasn't just a software recall. That was a physical recall. So that was a bad headline, but the stock didn't react too badly to that. 236. Alibaba was down about 4% on the day. Bitcoin, 84,000, just above that level. SoFi was down about 1%. You had Robinhood in the green at 43.66. Not too bad. And then Palantir right here at 87.39. That was also green on the day. Where's Nike? Okay. Did we get the earnings? Did we get them? Did we get any of them? Micron's up 4%. Okay, we got some green on Micron. Nike is down 0.5%. Nike looks like we got a red candle. Fedex is up a little bit. Micron doing the best, up 4%. Lennar is flat. Looks like Micron is the one that's moving so far. Let's see. Let's see if we can get some numbers on these bad boys. Which of these do you own the most? Also, what did the poll say? 47% of you said Micron, then 34% said Nike would outperform. Okay. Wow, Micron's really ripping. 6%. Okay. Micron doing its thing, at least for now. Let's see if it's a pump fake. It looks rather real. It's not really showing a reversal that quick. So I feel like it makes sense. Micron double beat, 156 versus 142 on EPS, 8.05 versus 7.9 billion on revenue. That's a nice double beat, 16-cent EPS beat, and about $100 million revenue beat. I mean, that's good. Growth expectations were baked in. Those are not bad numbers to beat on. FedEx is down 4%. So FedEx goes red. I don't think we got numbers from Nike yet. That's flat. And then Lennar is also basically flat. Micron being the winner right here, up 5%. June has 175 shares of Micron. Is it pumping NVIDIA? Let's put NVIDIA on the side right here and see if that helps. NVIDIA is down after hours, nothing too crazy. Micron's got to hold it, though. They've got to hold it. 5%. It looks like the initial beat is what it wants. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Nike is flat. FedEx is down 3%. Looks like FedEx numbers were not the best. Let's see what they've got here. For FedEx and Nike, I'm the most concerned with what are they saying about the consumer. FedEx missed 451 versus 463 on EPS. That's a miss of about 12 cents. They beat on revenue, though, 22.2 versus 21.8. That's not a horrible beat at all. But they do have a slight miss on EPS, and that's why FedEx now taking it on the chin, down 4%. Micron holding on to up 6%. Lennar is up 3% as well. We did get new home building stats home sales this morning, and that was a nice beat. So we'll wait for those numbers. Nike's still not out. FedEx down 3%. Micron is up 6% here right now. Nike numbers are not out yet. Out yet. No effect on NVIDIA, correct? No effect on NVIDIA. Let's check SMCI real quick. I mean, the real ones we should be looking at also are the infrastructure companies on semis. SMCI is also flat. Is Dell getting any momentum? Dell is also flat. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Seems like it's mainly a Micron thing here. And it's still holding. It's really still holding. It's been almost 5 minutes and it's not giving it up. At least not yet. TSM and Broadcom. Let's look at those semis, see if we have anything. TSM, Broadcom's up a little bit after hours. ASML's flat. Intel's flat. Intel was down on the day about 0.5%. Marvell was up about 1%. They're down a little bit. ARM was up 1%. TSM right here was up 2% on the day. They are flat after hours. AMD moving a little bit, and then NVIDIA going a little bit green after hours as well. FedEx right here down 3.5. Let's see if we can get the actual earnings from these companies and get some deeper coverage on what we're looking at. But these are the two ones that are moving. I think Nike either comes out literally right now, 405, or at 410. And we are going to see what it looks like. All right, Nike, a little green. We got a slight green. Bill Ackman still owns about 20 million shares of this one. So he is loaded up on this. That is one of the things that has got a lot more people excited about the name. Still not out on my end, but we will check in a second if it comes out. FedEx is not posted on their website either. I want to see how many shares they bought back, because I would imagine that's something the street cares about as well. Let's see right. Yeah, FedEx is not posted yet. Nike's out. Nike is not out yet. Now it's going a little red after as Micron. Wow, 7%, dude. It's like Micron really either increased their guidance or the stock was just sold off enough where they had the right numbers to get people excited. All right, let's look at Micron as we wait for Nike and see what we got. Nike's at 415. Okay, cool. So we got about 10 minutes until Nike. So here's what we got from Micron. Revenue of $8 billion versus 8.7 for the prior quarter and 5.8 for the same period last year. So that growth rate, 8.05 minus 5.82 is 38%. So they are growing 38%. HBM revenue crossed the billion. That's their milestone. GAAP net income of about 1.6 billion, operating cash flow of 3.94 billion. CEO says Micron delivered fiscal Q2 EPS above guidance and data center revenue tripled from a year ago. Wow. Data center revenue up 300%. We are extending our technology leadership with the launch of our 1 gamma DRAM mode. We expect record quarterly revenue in fiscal Q3. That'll definitely get the street excited. With DRAM and NAND demand growth in both data center and consumer-oriented markets, and we are on track for record revenue and significantly improved profitability in fiscal 2025. That one sentence should get the street excited. 100,000%, up 5.4% right here. If the earnings call is as good as that statement, Fedex down about 4%. I would imagine Micron shareholders should be not in a horrible spot. Is there a dividend on Micron at all? There is a 0.45% dividend, so small dividend. And I don't know if they bought back shares. Doesn't look like they have a buyback. Let me see. Repurchase. Do they have anything? No, it doesn't seem like they're buying back shares, but there is a small dividend and you have 40% growth, which always is nice to see and probably justifies not having the biggest buyback when you have that. Any moves on NVIDIA? It doesn't look like there's any moves on NVIDIA yet. We're still waiting on Nike in a bit. Micron up 5.6. Yeah, NVIDIA's kind of flat after us. All the semis are flat. They're not really reacting to that. But as a Micron specific story, I mean, it's pretty damn bullish. Record Q3 revenue they're expecting and record improved profitability for fiscal year 2025. I mean, that's music to the streets' ears in a world where earnings multiples are compressing. The better your earnings are, the better you have a chance of maintaining that multiple, if not expanding that multiple. But you got to have better margins to be able to get that multiple. And the problem with Dell, SMCI, a lot of these guys, they don't have the best margins. Now, Micron's not exactly in the same space, given they're in memory versus GPU servers, but still, margins is one of the most important things right here. Up 6.34%. Fedex now down 4.52. Trying to get a little bit more coverage on Fedex to see what the story is there. Hopefully it's not necessarily a consumer story, but let's see if we can get some coverage on that.
Okay, well, speaking of FedEx, earnings are out. Frank Holland has the numbers for us. And it looks like FedEx is under some pressure here, Frank.
Yeah, Morgan, absolutely. FedEx shares moving lower. They beat on revenue, but they missed on EPS. The estimate was for $4.54 a share. It came in at about $4.51. Just looking through the numbers right now, CEO Raju Ramanian really highlighted what he called a challenging operating environment, including a compressed peak season and some severe weather events. Looking through the numbers right now, we're seeing some pressure on the freight division. The company saying that freight actually saw a slowdown, fewer shipments, also fewer weight on shipments. However, they said some of their cost-cutting efforts actually helped the express division that really drives the majority of revenue. So again, beat on the top line, a miss on the bottom line. The company also lowered its full-year EPS guidance. Previously, the guidance was $19 to $20 a share. It was actually lowered the quarter before. They've lowered it even more now. The full-year revenue guidance is $18 to $18.60 a share. Important to note.
Damn. 2 consecutive quarters of lowering guidance. Is UPS down on this? UPS is down about 1%. I wonder if this is a consumer thing or a FedEx thing. If this is Amazon kind of taking a little bit of FedEx's lunch, or if this is a broader macro problem with delivers.
There's only 1 quarter left, but reducing their guidance for that last quarter. Back over to you.
All right, Frank Holland, thank you.
Okay, that's what we have on FedEx. We got Nike coming up pretty soon. Pump or dump in the chat on the poll. What did you guys say so far? Dump. Wow, 55% of you saying dump. Okay, we have 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes for Nike. All right, who's in Nike? Who's invested in Nike? Who's in Nike? Where's Nike right now? Nike is $71.97. Dude, I have no idea what the catalyst is on Nike, what the not the catalyst is on Nike. All right, we're going to make this fun. I'm buying 10 shares. We're going to make this fun. Let's get some skin in the game. Here we go. 10 shares, baby. $72. We got $720 on the line. Let's see if we can make some money on a day trade. Let's get to 80, and then I would make, how much is that? $80. Let's see. Let's see. Bill Ackman, we trust in you. Now that I bought this, shit's going to probably $62, but we're going to see what happens with Nike. Now I'm really excited. We got a chance to make a little bit of money. Just do it, right? Just do it. All right, so now I'm excited. So the fundamentals of Nike, huh? Well, they make good shoes. I guess I'm trying to justify that investment I just made. Kim Kardashian joined Nike. Did she get sponsored by Nike? I feel like she's been sponsored by Nike for a while. Dude, the problem with Nike is the brand is just like no one cares. Oh, Nike and Skims, her like leggings brand, right? They partnered on February 18th. Oh, that's bullish, right? That's a reason to buy the stock, right? Kim Kardashian, like that's got to be, there's got to be something exciting there, right? Right? That's right. That's got to be a reason to get excited about Nike. Okay, so they got Kim K. What else? That's it. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. The China's well, okay. So if you assume China is bearish, then Nike might crap the bed in terms of fiscal year 2026 guidance. But if you assume China is stimulating, which they have been stimulating more than usual, they haven't gotten that bazooka type of stimulus yet. Most people are thinking that'll happen after April, but you can make an argument that maybe Nike increases its projections based on the nature of that stimulus uplifting sales. But I guess we'll find out in 3 minutes. Elliot Hill, this is going to be his first quarter as CEO. So we're going to see what he says and how the market kind of interprets him as one of the people that's supposed to turn around Nike. But this will be the first quarter to see if he can say anything interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a question of the Chinese consumer. Okay, let's see. Dude, if we pump to like 75, I'm selling. Or if we pump to like, but hold on, how much do we need to get to 80? Nike hasn't seen 80 in a minute. 80 minus 72 divided by 72. We would need an 11% pump. We would need an 11%. Did I just calculate an 11% pump for a $10 move? That's 10%. That's this is why my mom as a math teacher is so proud of me, but she looks at me in disgust sometimes, dude. She's like, why was she a math teacher for me to do that type of math? This is ridiculous. But there's only 6% an expected move. All right, well, let's see if we can make 6% on $720. We should be getting those results in 2 minutes. We also had Planet Labs. I didn't know they would have earnings today, but they had earnings. Let's take a look at them real quick as we get into Nike.
It's posting a loss of 8 cents adjusted per share. Now, it's unclear if that's comparable to the 2-cent loss that analysts were expecting, so we're not going to compare it right now. Fourth quarter adjusted EBITDA, though, that was a profit of $2.4 million. That's the first time you've seen that metric turn positive for the company. Planet Labs revenue in line at $62 million. The backlog surging to $498.5 million. This was 115% increase quarter over quarter after it inked a number of big contracts, including one with Japan. Planet Labs co-founder, chair, and CEO Will Marshall says that they see a clear path to at least double our revenue growth rate in fiscal 2020.
All right, Planet Labs down about 20%. Here we go. It's time to make some money. It is time to make some money. We got about 30 seconds. Give me something good, Nike. Give me something good. Micron's up 6%. Micron's up 6%. Up, we're green. We're green. We're green. We're freaking green, baby. 76. 76.5. All right, now let's get to 80. Don't go back down. You got up so far. Don't go back down. Just stay there. Don't make me regret waiting for 80. Just keep it there. Stop going down. No, that's not how this goes. Nope, just stay green. Just stay green. Oh my gosh, I'm up $22. Dude, I'm up 22. Do I take the $20? Do I take $20? Dude, $20 is a lot of money. Come on, just stay there. That was a good reaction. Dude, this one feels the opposite of Micron. This one looks like it's going to go down. This one does not look like it has even a shot to sustain this green. Micron went up to 6% and they held that 6%. This one went straight down. Yeah, my freaking $20 will be it's $10 now. It'll be short-term taxed anyway. Oh my gosh. Come on, bro. Come on. It's about to go red. It's about to go red. It's red. It's red. She's red. She's red. She's red. What are the numbers? Wait, what are the numbers? Let me see. I didn't even look at the numbers. Come on. We have I don't have the numbers. I don't have the numbers yet. Okay, so maybe it's reacting off nothing. Let me see if someone else has the numbers. I don't see the numbers yet. Not on Nike. If anyone has, you can put in the chat. I don't see it yet. The street might be reacting to nothing if the numbers aren't out. Big EPS beat. Hold on. Where are these numbers? Let me check right here. Nike. Oh, we got it. Oh, wow. That's a beat. That's a beat, baby. That is a beat. 54 cents versus 29 cents. Revenue beat of 300 million. This thing doesn't deserve to be down. It doesn't have to go straight up, but it definitely doesn't deserve to be down. They beat EPS by basically 100%, about 80%. And then revenue, $300 million beat on revenue. That's good. That's growth. That's growth compared to what the analysts expected. And the stock has already been beat up over the past year. No, I'm not selling this. This one doesn't feel like, unless we get to 80. If we get to 80, I might get rid of it. But let's see. Nike about 3% right here. Guidance is the important one. Let's see if we can get some proper guidance. That's a nice beat though, bro. 50, unless that's some like accounting thing, 54 cents versus 29 cents expected is, I would say, something internally that they did correctly here. And that's what's getting the stock exciting. Yeah, it was $90 not too long ago. $73.99 right here. I just want to know why they beat that much. Let me pull up their website. What did they say that got them? Is that like some accounting thing, or is that a real, like, people are buying Nike products again? Because if it's the latter, that's not horrible. Okay, I think I got it. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Wait, no, this is not it. This is not it. Hold on. It's not on their website. Investor news. Still at 73.85. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, this is Nike. Yeah, Elliott Hill. Maybe he's doing his thing. So third quarter revenue is $11.3 billion. That's down 9% year over year. So that is declining revenue growth, but it's against expectations, which is good. They probably did sandbag last quarter as well. Nike direct revenues were $4.7 billion, down 12%. Wholesale revenue 6.2. Gross margin down 330 basis points. EPS 54 cents. So even with declining revenue growth and declining gross margins, they came up with a double beat. That is interesting. That is pretty interesting. Elliott Hill says, the progress we made against the win now strategic priorities we committed to 90 days ago reinforces my confidence that we are on the right path. What's encouraging is Nike made an impact this quarter, leading with sport through athlete storytelling, performance products, and big sport moments. Our outlook for the second half of fiscal year 2025, driven by our win now actions, remains consistent with what we communicated last quarter. The operating environment is dynamic, but what matters most for Nike is serving athletes with new product innovation and reigniting brand momentum through sport. Okay, he said a whole lot of nothing there, but they bought back $500 million of stock. They gave dividends of $600 million. They bought back 6.5 million shares. They bought back 120 million shares under their entire program of about 12 billion of buybacks. It feels like an accounting beat on EPS. How are their revenues and their gross margins down, but they beat by almost 80% on EPS? It feels a bit fishy. It doesn't feel like that's oh my God, the stock is like, or the company is just like hitting on all cylinders and demand's back. But then again, it also could just be they were sandbagging like crazy last quarter, right? So the sandbagging of last quarter is what easily allows them to beat. But if they beat by 80% on EPS and it's not an accounting thing, then that means they sandbagged to get this type of a beat. And maybe that's why the street's excited. All right, here's some coverage on Nike. And then we'll keep going from there. Nike stock 74.74 here right now.
And that marks a decline of about 9%. But welcome back. Nike earnings are out, and Sarah Eisen has the numbers for us. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Morgan. Well, there were some low expectations here that Nike seems to be surpassing. Revenues better than expected, $11.3 billion. And that marks a decline of about 9%. But the street was looking for more like down 11%. So that was better. A big earnings beat, 54 cents per share, was much better than the estimate at 29 cents per share. Though margins were kind of soft to in line, 41.4%. 40.5 to 41.8%, which was the expected. Digging through some of the key markets here, North America, the home market, important, and also a beat at $4.8 billion. But China was a little bit soft, down 15% in China, in the greater China during the quarter. That is a disappointment. And I can tell you, after speaking to Matt Friend, the CFO, the China market is being reset. They are cleaning up inventory and making shelf space for some of the new styles. That's pretty much the story with Nike overall this quarter and where they are right now. The win now strategy, that's what the new CEO, Elliot Hill, is talking about. In my conversation with Friend, we are expecting guidance to come during the call, but it's only going to be fourth quarter guidance, not the full year guidance. And it will incorporate the new tariffs, the 20% increase of tariffs on Chinese goods. Remember, they make a lot of the sneakers and products in China. One sign I just want to share with you from the conversation, it's anecdotal, but I think it's important here because the numbers matter less in such a sort of dramatic turnaround. And that is, the company is starting to see orders from wholesalers for performance categories and new sportswear almost fully offset the weaker sneaker declines in terms of these new orders. That is what they see as a leading indicator and some proof that they're seeing some early results, Morgan and John, when it comes to new products, some brand heat, some buzz. They had their first Super Bowl ad in decades, and the Peg Premium, for instance, is sold out. Starting to see some early results, and that might matter more to the street this quarter than usual.
Some great color. Sarah Eisen, thank you.
All right. Should I sell? You guys are so bearish, bro. I think the poll's already 70-30 sell. By the way, QUBT, we're going to look at their earnings in a second. They're down 9%. Not the best earnings. Nike right here is up 4%. 64% of you guys are saying sell. $30 in what? How many? 15 minutes? That is pretty good, bro. $30 in 15 minutes. How much is that an hour? That's $120 an hour, right? 30 times 4. You guys got to be proud of me. That's good math. That's really good math because I had to divide 60 because 60 minutes in an hour divided by 15. That's 4. Then I had to multiply 4 times 30. That's like not bad math, to be honest. I'm actually proud I came up with that. But that's an average hourly rate of $120. I wish I could do that every 15 minutes in the stock market. That would be nice. But all right, fine. We're selling. But if this shit pumps to 80 and we could have made another $70, I'm just saying. All right, here we go. We're selling it. Let's see what they give us. 74.75. 74.75. We have a realized profit of $27.50. Robin, it shows you that realized profit. We made $27.50. All right, cool. $27. That's oh, Trump's live. Oh my gosh, Trump's live. By the way, QUBT, a really nasty quarter. Real quick, they missed badly. The street thought they would lose 5 cents. They lost 47 cents. Another quantum company, the street thought they would make 200,000 in revenue. They brought in 62,000 in revenue. By the way, I'm going to give away this $30. So stay till the end of the stream. We'll do a little giveaway. We'll figure out how to give away like a $30 Amazon gift card or something. So we'll give away the $30 gains at the end of the stream. Okay, let me pull up Trump. Let me pull him up. He's signing some executive orders. Okay, here we go.
Agreements in various locations to unlock rare earths and minerals and lots of other things all over the world. But in particular, Ukraine, we're doing very well with regard to Ukraine and Russia. And one of the things we are doing is signing a deal very shortly with respect to rare earths with Ukraine, which they have tremendous value in rare earth, and we appreciate that. And we spoke yesterday with, as you know, President Putin and President Zelensky, and we would love to see that come to an end. And I think we're doing pretty well in that regard. So hopefully we could save thousands of people a week from dying. That's what it's all about. They're dying so unnecessarily. And I believe we'll get it done. We'll see what happens, but I believe we'll get it done. Today, we take a very historic action that was 45 years in the making. In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education.
Holy crap, he's actually doing it.
Once and for all.
There's no way they have kids in this. Oh my goodness. They have freaking kids in this room. Holy crap.
And it sounds strange, doesn't it? Department of Education, we're going to eliminate it. And everybody knows it's right. And the Democrats know it's right. And I hope they're going to be voting for it because ultimately it may come before them. But everybody knows it's right. And we have to get our children educated. We're not doing well with the world of education in this country, and we haven't for a long time. And we're pleased to be joined today by the woman who I chose because she's an extraordinary person, and hopefully she will be our last Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Linda, thank you. Thank you very much. That's another interesting statement. It's an interesting opening, right? But it's true, and people. It's been amazing how popular this has been. I tell people that this is what I'm doing today, and they say, "Oh, it's about time." Everybody says it. Republicans and Democrats have said it. They're all saying it. Also with us are some terrific people. Governors Greg Abbott. Greg, thank you very much. Governor Ron DeSantis, thank you very much, Ron. Mike Braun, congratulations on your victory, Mike. That was a big one. Mike DeWine, thank you very much, Mike. Jeff Landry. Jeff, thank you very much, Jeff. Bill Lee, thank you. Governors, all governors. Brad Little. Brad, thank you very much. Where are you, Brad? Hi, Brad. Jim Pilan, thank you very much, Jim. And Kim Reynolds. These are all people very interested in education. And I even see Dan Patrick over there, my friend Dan Patrick. We're joined also by Representatives Tim Walberg and Virginia Fox, Rick Allen, Michael Rulli. And again, Dan Patrick, thank you very much, Dan. You've been a great friend of ours. And State Attorneys General Ken Paxton. Ken, I see you there. Andrew Bailey. Andrew, what a job you've done, Andrew. You have some good cases going. You've done a great job.
In a sentence, for a lot of people that are international and they don't know what the Department of Education is, they are responsible for overseeing and supporting the nation's education system, including setting policies, distributing federal funding, that's a big deal, and ensuring equal access to education, along with creating a common core curriculum. I don't know if he can legally get rid of the Department of Ed with executive order. I really am skeptical about that. He did mention a couple minutes ago that Congress would have to approve this. I don't know, dude. I don't know if they can actually get this done, but we'll see how he justifies it here today.
Absolutely right. After 45 years, the United States spends more money on education by far than any other country, and spends likewise by far more money per pupil than any country, and it's not even close. But yet we rank near the bottom of the list in terms of success. It's an amazing stat. Those are two stats you don't want. The most money spent per pupil, and you're at the bottom of the list. And that's where we are, like it or not. And we've been there for a long time. 70% of eighth graders are not proficient in either reading or in math. 70%. 40% of fourth graders lack even basic reading skills, can't read. Students in our public elementary and middle schools score worse in reading today than when the department opened, by a lot. In Baltimore, 40% of the high schools have 0 students who can do basic.
To answer everyone's question, yes, the Department of Education provides student loans to college students through federal programs like the Direct Loan Program. I don't know if this is bullish or bearish SoFi, if the DOE is gone. SoFi's up a little bit after hours, but if the DOE is gone, I would imagine that the funding for student loans is also technically gone.
Mathematics, not even the education. I said, how do you fill those buildings? It's crazy what's happened over the years. I'm pleased to report that after offering these federal employees 2 generous buyout options, and they were very generous, and they're good people, but they were very generous. My administration has initiated a reduction in force, and we're already cutting numbers that were really surprising to a lot that we were able to do it so successfully. And we've cut the number of bureaucrats in half. 50% have taken office, which is great. Thank you. Under the action I'm taking today, a small handful of Democrats and others that we have employed for a long time, and there are some Republicans, but not too many, I have to be honest with you. But the department's useful functions and such as, and they're in charge of them, Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved, fully preserved. They're all going to be so. If you look at the Pell Grants, supposed to be a very good program, Title I funding and resources for children with special disabilities and special needs. They're going to be preserved in full and redistributed to various other agencies and departments that will take very good care of them. And that's very important to Linda, I know, and it's very important to all of us. But beyond these core necessities, my administration will take all lawful steps to shut down the department. We're going to shut it down and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good. We want to return our students to the states where just some of the governors here are so happy about this. They want education to come back to them, to come back to the states, and they're going to do a phenomenal job. You know, if you look, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, I have to tell you, I give them a lot of credit. China's top 10. And so we can't now say that bigness is making it impossible to educate, because China is very big. But you have countries that do a very good job in education. And I really believe, like some of the governors here today from states that run very, very well, including a big state like Texas, but states that run very well are going to have education that will be as good as Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and those top, Finland, those top countries that do so well with education. I think they'll do every bit as well. And what do you think about that, Governor? Do you agree? I think so. Ron, do you agree? I think so. Florida, Iowa. That's right. I really believe that. They'll be as good as any of them. And then you'll have some laggards, and we'll work with them. And we can all tell you who the laggards will be right now, probably, but let's not get into that. But we'll work with them, and we're going to make them, they'll do a job. I think they'll do a job, and they'll go to sections of the state. For instance, New York, you'll have a Manhattan, and you'll have a Suffolk County, and you'll have a Nassau County, and you'll have Westchester County. You'll do 4 or 5 or 6 of them. You have upstate New York, and those counties, I think, are going to do very well. And I think ultimately Manhattan should do very well, but we'll break it down into sections, and I think it'll be really, really good. And they're going to be probably the tougher ones, but I think they have a chance to do really well. But we're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs. And this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do, and it's going to work. Absolutely, it's going to work. And I can tell you from dealing with the governors and others in the state, they want it so badly. They want to take their children back and really teach their children individually. Probably the cost will be half, and the education will be maybe many, many times better. So we look forward to this. I want to just make one little personal statement. Teachers, to me, are among the most important people in this country, and we're going to take care of our teachers. And I don't care if they're in the union or not in the union. That doesn't matter. But we're going to take care of our teachers. And I believe the states will take actually better care of them than they are taken care of right now. They'll work all sorts of systems and even merit systems. Those great teachers are going to be maybe a little bit better rewarded, or maybe that's the way it should be. But the states are going to make that decision. But
so basically, states would control the funding. They would control the basis for the curriculum. And there would be different federal agencies that would give out loans, more likely than not private companies. So my gut reaction is this is bullish for SoFi. They should be getting a lot more demand versus those clients going to the DOE to get their loans. Now, granted, I have no idea if this executive order actually results in the Department of Education closing down. But I mean, let me know in the chat if you think this is bullish or bearish. There's obviously issues with the education system in America. Is the answer getting rid of a whole department? I don't know.
going to find something else for you, Linda. Okay. So this will conclude what we are talking about with respect to our most cherished group of people, and that's our children. We want to have our children well educated. We want them to love going to school. We have examples of it. Look at those beautiful, bright-eyed faces. They are so smart. They're so smart. And with that, I'm going to come down and we're going to sign a very important document and we're going to be on our way. People have wanted to do this for many, many years, for many, many decades. And I don't know, no president ever got around to doing it, but I'm getting around to doing it. So thank you very much.
All right, here he goes. Looks like he's going to sign it. They obviously chose a classroom for a reason. Again, this is an executive order. I don't know if he has the authority to just get rid of it. But maybe there's some loopholes the lawyers are looking at here.
Should I do this?
Okay, the kids have no idea. He's asking them, the kids have no idea what he's even doing. All right, here it is. No president, to my understanding, has done this via executive order.
I was very lucky. I signed another document that turned out to be very good for the country. And I said, let's use that same pen. I don't know. Is anybody superstitious? Ron, are you superstitious? Let's use that same pen.
Interesting, dude. I'm going to ask my mom what she thinks. She's been in education. She's still in education. I wonder what she thinks of this.
Okay.
The kids are signing their version of it too. Yeah, it might be symbolic or there might be something more serious.
Can you come up just to say, come on up?
I think that's Linda McMahon.
Thank you, everybody, very much. Good luck.
Okay, so it's done. Asking Grok some quick questions. There's about 2,200 employees in the Department of Education. Okay, I'm gonna ask Grok, can a president via exec order terminate the agency? It says no, a president cannot terminate a Department of Education or any federal agency created by Congress solely through executive order. The DOE was established by Congress, the Department of Education Organization Act of 1979, and its funding is governed under statutory law. That said, a president could attempt to undermine the agency's operations, such as halting enforcement of certain regulations, imposing hiring freezes, they can definitely do that, or redirecting resources within the bounds of existing authority. For instance, President Trump might pursue such a strategy, but fully terminating the DOE via executive order alone would likely be struck down by courts if challenged. Okay, so I think Grok is pretty accurate on that. It does not seem like he's going to be able to just strike down the DOE, but he can make life tougher for the DOE to operate. SoFi is up about 0.4% right now. Lending Tree, is that one up after hours? That one is flat. It was up 4% on the day. It's going to take an act of Congress to get this done. He's going to have to get some Democrats to sign this law to terminate the agency. And I don't know exactly if they can get that done. This is interesting, dude. My mom, I remember in the past, she's complained about Common Core and the Common Core curriculum. Like there's been a lot of annoyances from her side, given she was a teacher for 15 years, on implementing certain types of curriculum in the classroom, because sometimes you just have to readjust the curriculum for different age groups, demographics, etc. And that power usually lies in the states. And the states already have a lot of power. Like California state exams are different from New Jersey state exams. However, federal funding is what matters the most when it comes to the DOE, more than I think just the curriculum, even though a lot of people complain about the curriculum in and of itself. That's like the biggest concern a lot of people have. There's not that many. I mean, look, people like the DOE as a concept and having that federal overhead, but I've heard many critiques of it. Now, I don't know if the solution is getting rid of it. By the way, Nike up 2.25%. But there are definitely legitimate critiques of the DOE. The question is, what does it mean for the state of Alabama versus the state of California? Like, if they don't have a federal curriculum guiding all those kids together, and maybe that's not the right way to go, but what does that mean for the outcome of education based in those two locations? A lot of you guys in the chat right here are saying Common Core is bad as well. Yeah, my mom has complained about that before in the past. She's not been a fan of the concept of Common Core. But does that mean you get rid of the whole agency? I don't know. What it does mean for loan providers on, let's ask Grok this. If the DOE was terminated, would that be good for private student loan companies? Let's see what Grok says on that. My dad is a retired teacher. He says Trump is insane. Okay, so you got some people that think this won't happen. If the Department of Education were terminated, it could potentially benefit private student loan companies, though the outcomes depend on several factors. The DOE currently oversees 1.74 trillion of student loans. Holy crap. That's a lot of money they're responsible for. 40 million borrowers rely on the DOE. If it was eliminated and federal loans disappeared, private lenders could see a surge in demand as students and families turn to fill the gap. However, it's not a guaranteed win. Private lenders would face risks. Without federal backing, defaults might rise. That's a fair point. And political pressure could grow for new regulations or replacement of the public system. And the transition would be chaotic. That's a good point as well. I mean, we had interest rates paused on student loans for 4 years, or interest payments. And it's still paused until August for some people. So I would wonder how that would play out. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Well, my mom's not home, guys. I can't bring my mom onto the show. I'll ask her later when she gets home, and I'll let her. I'll let you guys know when the market opened tomorrow. But I'm curious what my sister thinks as well. My sister works in education. She was a teacher for 5 years. Now she's an administrator. I wonder if she cares about the DOE, if that's like something she pays attention to, or she focuses on the New Jersey education system because that matters more directly to her. I'm curious kind of how she thinks of it. Nike's down 2.6. We got out at 74.75. So for now, it looks like we did good on a day trade. But right now it's at 73. Now, one of the arguments on the bond yield side is that if we get rid of the Department of Education and we save a lot of money, because whether it's loans, whether it's paying for employees, the bureaucratic costs that are associated with the agency, if that goes away, that can help us save some money. That could potentially help those bond yields come down. The 10-year, is it reacting to this news? No. The 10-year 4.241, that's not giving you any major reaction. But maybe that's an argument from the White House on, like, we just have to be aggressive with this cutting in order to actually get rates down and help the long end of the yield curve. Money market funds, by the way, decreased by 21 billion. So people are buying the dip. I mean, it's a small decrease in the broad scheme of things. We got 7 trillion still on the sidelines, but at least it's not an increase. So you got 21 billion leaving a safe money market return, potentially going into other asset classes like the market, crypto, real estate, whatever it may be. But we did have our first sizable decrease, even though it's not that sizable in comparison to how much is on the sidelines, in about 3 weeks. The last time we saw anywhere near this was, I think, early February or late January, where we had about 50 billion decrease from money market funds. So that's what we have currently right now. Going into Tesla, maybe going into Tesla. We'll see. The poll I put right here in the chat, 57% of you said yes, Congress could actually eliminate. You think Congress will eliminate the DOE? I would take the opposite, bro. I don't think Congress is going to eliminate them. I really don't. I think that's a radical thing to do. I think there's going to be a part of Congress that would vote for it. I don't even know if he's going to get all the Republicans to agree on that. And, again, Trump is showing you can do as many executive orders as you want. At the end of the day, they have to have some level of legal foundation to be implemented. Some things he can just straight up do, like the strategic crypto reserve. He can create it, But then to get the money to buy the Bitcoin to fund it, you need the power of the purse, which is in Congress. So I'm a bit skeptical Congress gets rid of the DOE. But if there was any administration where it would happen, it would obviously be the Trump administration that gets it done. I just don't know if it would end up playing out. Okay, cool. That's what we got. In terms of earnings, we didn't look at Lennar. Let's look at them real quick. Lennar is flat. Micron's up 5%. Fedex down 5%. Nike up 2%. Nvidia's up a little bit. Lennar, let me see if I can get their numbers. Quantum Computing, QUBT, they got demolished on earnings. It just wrecked, down another 10% of the day. Lennar did not put out earnings yet. I think they actually come out at 5 p.m. or 5:15. So Lennar's, that's probably why the stock's not moving. We don't have any update on earnings for that. Okay, so that's what we got on earnings. And that's what we got in the context of Trump. Amit, do you favor a small or big government? I favor a government that works. And I don't think I've done enough research on the pros and cons of the DOE to have a definitive yes, no, it should be gone. However, I've heard critiques of it all my life growing up because I have two people in my house, mom and sister, that work in the Department of Education. Now, they've never gone to the point where I've heard them say, we just need to get rid of this thing. I don't think they've thought of it in that depth, but both my mom and my sister have never loved the Common Core curriculum that has been imposed by the federal government for the states to implement. So it's just the question of, look, if you live in Alabama and Alabama wants to teach a certain form of history versus California teaching a certain form of history, if you don't have the Common Core curriculum to guide how to teach history, then is it okay for one state to teach it in this version versus another state to do it in this version? And for those that believe in states' rights, right, like maybe that is. But from a federal funding perspective, even if that's good on an educational level, what does it mean for the funding distribution of what California gets versus what Alabama gets? Because California would obviously get a lot more money given they're bigger. California a lot less given they're smaller. So I don't know. It feels a little bit more like show and tell on the executive order. I don't actually think it's going to go in to becoming reality, but there might be a world where he shakes things up or he just makes it really hard for the DOE to operate, and that could create a shakeup, even if it just doesn't get rid of the DOE. Okay, cool. I want to take a look at RBC or Tom Narayan from RBC, and then we'll do the giveaway of this $30 that we won from Nike. But let's take a look at this, and then we'll end out the show. This is what RBC had to say about why they lowered their Tesla price target from 450 to 330.
Yes, though, just slashed his price target on the stock by $120 to $320 a share, concerned about Tesla's full self-driving pricing and its robotaxi prospects. Let's bring in Tom Narayan. He's the global autos analyst at RBC. And Tom, those are the very issues that are supposed to keep them insulated from the day-to-day right now.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think a lot of the discussion in the media, of course, is on the car sales, but we're actually looking at the long-term dynamics. Autonomy is really what drives our price target. And what we did was took a measured approach, cut back our FSD pricing and our robotaxi penetration numbers in Europe and China. But it's still a $320 price target, which still would be upside from today's levels.
Right, but what exactly has changed? Because look, shouldn't they just get a license in California this week that would allow them to start operating robotaxis?
Yeah, what's changed is, we've had a lot of discussions with different management teams at OEMs. We just had Mercedes on the road last week talking about their level 2, level 3 plus autonomy product. And, we had Aptiv at CES. We had a number of companies talking about how they view autonomy as really as a Me Too product for brand differentiation, as opposed to trying to price this to the consumers as a profit center. We also heard about BYD's God's Eye product, where they're trying to make it standard, right, on lower models. So when we look at all that, we look at Tesla FSD, we went all the way up to saying they would be at $100 a month pricing down the road. Now we're thinking, you know what, this may be more of a commoditized product as other car companies offer this. Let's drop this to $50 a month, which we think.
That is interesting, bro. To say that FSD is getting commoditized. They're one of the only firms on the street that has come out with this thesis on why Tesla deserves to get a lower multiple. If that's the case, I mean, that definitely shakes up the concept of robotaxis.
I think it's more realistic.
Right, but it's interesting that you say, in other words, because this has been a huge debate for the past couple of years as to whether Chinese competitors are A, real competitors, B, would ever catch up and threaten Tesla in a meaningful way, C, whether that only matters outside of the U.S. because we have significant protectionism here, and D, whether that would ever matter to their sales domestically. And it sounds like you're saying the answer to all of those now is yes.
Well, I think we have to break that up a bit. I think the Chinese competitive threat is most severe in China, which is, of course, Tesla's biggest market, right, for sales. So that's something we definitely have to monitor. I totally agree with. But in the U.S., Tesla's home base for robotaxi, which is the bulk of my valuation, we see Tesla capturing about 20% of that robotaxi market. Don't see the Chinese really entering there, even on car sales. We really don't see that being as much of a threat. It's really in China, which not saying that it's not a risk. It is a big risk. It's the biggest market. That's really where we see the biggest pain point in China.
Understood. And of course, like you said, if that's the biggest market, it'll have an impact. Here, as mentioned, it's a different story because of some of the barriers that we have. But do you have any concerns about Tesla's ability to deploy that technology?
Of course, we have to see what happens, right? In June, they will unveil their robotaxi service in Austin. What if it is unsupervised FSD with a camera-only system without a driver that we see in June? That would be pretty tremendous, right? The only other robotaxis we see in the world have LiDARs and radars. They're quite expensive. So if Tesla is able to undercut the market with a product like that, that would be quite significant. So it is kind of a wait and see, admittedly, but we have to really see what is the FSD product that we do have today. It's quite a robust product. For a level 2+ offering, there's really nothing like it today.
See, this is one of the more interesting downgrades that I think we've heard in a while. I don't think we've seen too many firms flat out say FSD is not going to be a moat. In fact, we've heard the opposite. We've heard pretty much every firm say FSD is going to be the moat. So if you make the argument that self-driving, and this is what Jensen's been saying, right? With Cosmos, we can do synthetic training of this data, yada, yada. I mean, if it ends up becoming like many other features in cars over the past decade that have ultimately become democratized to everybody. Now, a lot of people say that FSD gets licensed, right? And that's how the story plays out. It's not really individual companies training or even synthetically training. It's just them using FSD. And that thesis is not a horrible thesis, but based on what RBC is saying, they believe that that thesis is nowhere near to becoming reality because Tesla's not really licensing FSD. And a lot of these companies are just doing it on their own right now. I guess we'll find out. I mean, Q1 is going to be important. We're going to need a lot of updates from Tesla in terms of how they're thinking of this market. Obviously, we're going to need that June launch in Austin to be productive. Micron right here still up 5%. Nike is up 2%. Fedex down 5%. But Q1, mid-April, is going to be very, very telling for Tesla. Apple was down 0.5% on the day. Microsoft was down 0.5%. Tesla was up slightly, even with the Cybertruck recall. NVIDIA was up about 1%. Amazon was down 1/3. Google was down 1%. Meta was up 1/3. And then again, Microsoft was up 0.25%. Robinhood just announced that 2.4 million contracts have been traded in futures. They announced that like 20 minutes ago. That's bullish. I believe they get 50 to 75 cents a contract on those options in futures, on those derivatives of futures. So that is about $1 million something in revenue, $1.2 million in revenue, which is not bad in about 5 weeks since they launched it. And the growth rate on that really is what matters more than just the revenue number. But if they can get that to scale, options, they trade almost 500 million contracts a quarter. They can get futures even 1/10 of that. That would be pretty damn incredible, especially because I don't even think it was 5 weeks ago. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. They unveiled it to everybody. So everyone in the app has access to it now. Not bad. Not bad at all. Does anyone believe in RBC's thesis around Tesla that it's getting more commoditized, the concept of FSD? I'll put a poll on that in the chat and then we'll do the giveaway. It's the first time I've really heard it from a major Tesla analyst. Like I've heard the idea of FSD being commoditized, but RBC has been following the story for a long time. And for them to come out with it is very interesting in terms of how they're conceptualizing it. FSD commoditized thesis makes sense BS. I definitely spelled commoditized wrong, but you get the point. RBC is where Rishi is from. That is correct. But still, you know, Rishi is not defining the entire firm, I would imagine. They got, yeah, you're right. They do flip-flop a lot. I'll give you that. Because Narayan had a price target of like below 200, then he bumped it up to 450 when it was running in November, and now they're back down. So that I will give you. They are very flip-floppy in the context of their price targets. QUBT, by the way, down 11%. Again, the street wanted 5 cents a share losing of EPS. They lost 46 cents. The street wanted $200,000 of revenue. They brought in 62,000. Their market cap is $1 billion, and these guys do $60,000 of revenue a quarter. If you're buying QUBT, you've got to have some reason that's really good, because price to sales of 1,800 is probably not the reason. But yeah, that's probably why that stock is down 11% after being down 11% during the day. So about 22% down. They do this because the stock is down. They would not do this if we were at 400. I agree with you. I don't disagree. If we were at 400, they would be singing the praises of FSD in whatever way they could, and robotics, etc. I mean, that's something I think everyone has to take with a grain of salt when we read equity sell side reports, but probably the price volatility is affecting it. 59% of you agree FSD could be commoditized. 41% of you guys say it is likely more BS than not. Matt says, anyone want to buy my one rental property for $250 million? It makes $85,000 in annual revenue. Dude, 60 grand in revenue and the company's worth $1 billion. QUBT. Okay, I just want to hold on. I just want to see what the insider selling is like, because insider selling on a really good company doesn't concern me, but on a company where it's a bit egregious when it comes to the valuation, I would want to see, like, are these guys just like getting the hell out of this thing? I know IONQ had some insider selling the other day. No, I don't see a crazy amount of selling. Nothing wild. Yeah, it doesn't look crazy. So it doesn't look like like people are literally dumping this thing. But still, bro, $1 billion market cap, 200 grand of revenue for the year. You got to believe there's some massive growth coming for QUBT. All right, cool. So let's do this giveaway. So I'll just give away $50. We'll do two $25 giveaways. So instead of just one $30 giveaway, we'll just make it 50, two $25 giveaways. Usually the way I do this is I ask a question, and whoever is the first person in the chat to give the answer wins. And the question is usually about something about the stream, not really about the stock market or anything like that. Basically, for people that have been listening every day, some type of question you would know about. But now I have to think of a question on the spot, because I decided we would do a giveaway on the spot. Micron is up 5% right now, currently after hours. We're not listening to the Micron call. You can listen to it on their website if you want, but we're not going to be listening to the Micron call. Okay, so what question should we ask? What question? We did this last time. We did this like a month ago, or we did this early January, I think. And I gave away 5 gift cards for $25. Or it was right before Christmas, I think. It's got to be a question that's not that obvious, though. Like, I can't say what condiment don't I like, because then everyone's going to say mayo. It's got to be something that's still a little tough. And I'm going to be using YouTube, not StreamYard, because StreamYard has a delay. So YouTube, I will get it immediately on YouTube. Okay, what's a good question? What's a good freaking question? Are you playing any March Madness contracts? No, I'm not. I'm not a gambler. You know, I don't gamble. I invest. So I just don't care enough about March Madness, so I'm not doing it. Okay, what's a question? What's a question? What's a good question? Let's see. Something about the stream. It's got to be really hard but easy at the same time. You guys are just typing in words that are associated with the stream. Grab, Palantir, Figure, Bricks, Mocktails, Mayo, Miracle Whip, Thermostat. Goodness gracious. No, the reason I'm looking around my room is because last time I asked the question of like, what's the drink I like drinking the most? Because I saw it was like in the corner and it's 0-calorie Gatorade. So whoever picked that, that's the one you got. Fingernails. Dude, you got like every question I can possibly think of. You're already typing the answer. I'm trying to think back to 2023. If there's any inside jokes on the stream, for those that have been watching for a while. Fuck, dude. More cowbell. You're just typing random shit in the chat now. William Sonoma. You guys are reminding me of shit I've talked about. Needle in a haystack. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, actually, I have a good one. I think I have a good one. I think I do. Maybe this is. Let's do, we got to do two of these. So let's at least get rid of the first one. This is going to be kind of easy, but kind of hard for the people that are new in here because you're probably going to be confused by all the comments you see every day. But it also might be kind of easy. All right, it's gonna be real quick. It'll be real quick. Are you ready? Very quick. First $25 giveaway. Okay. What date is my birthday? What date is my birthday? I think this is hard because you guys say happy birthday every day. So a lot of people probably don't know. Let's see them on YouTube. What date is my birthday? I don't see it yet. 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 Someone said today. Oh, wow. I don't see it yet. No one. I don't see it yet. Oh, Ron Cabero. You got it. Ron. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Ron Cabero. You have got it on my YouTube, October 27th. Ron Caballero. I'm definitely saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. Ron or Roan, R-O-N-E. You got it. And the only reason I ask that is because every day you guys say it's my birthday. So at least that's kind of hard, right? It's not like the easiest question in the world. Where's the comment right here? There it is. 5:02 p.m. I see no one above you that said October 27th. No one above you. Literally no one above you. Yep. This is right. No one above you. All right. Ron Cabero. Again, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Message me on Twitter or X, and I will get you a gift card for $25 on Amazon. All right, there we go. First one out of the way. That was good. That wasn't as easy because if I had said, "Oh, what don't I like to eat on my burger?" Mayo would have happened so quick. So it's got to be something that's still. There was like a good 45-second delay until someone officially said it. All right, cool. So now I need another one. Is Jason in the chat? Dude, Jason just commented about his like swing trade. Jason, buddy, if you want to join my class for some lessons, I'll be happy to teach you because I bought Nike at 72 and I sold it at 74.75. So, Jason, if you need some help, bro, I got you, bro. I got you. Just hit me up. I can teach you how to do these things. I can help you out. By the way, options 201 Saturday officially confirmed, set in the morning, but 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 3 Eastern. Mark it on your calendars. We will be live for options 201 with Mr. Jason. So it should be fun. All right, now we need another question. I can't do the West Wing. You guys, some of you guys know way too, like you can get it immediately. There's got to be something deeper. Are you guys just typing in all these random things associated with the stream, bro? What day did I shave my beard? That's actually a good one. That would have been a good one if I did that. That was New Year's Eve, like 2 years ago. Chemical symbol for gold. Oh my gosh, dude. I almost picked GD and I was like, I would have been so embarrassed if I did that. Zokol, thank you for posting that. That's the options 101 link. Okay, what's the next question? Damn, you guys actually have some good questions, but I can't use them if I see them here. It needs to be an original. All right, so I shouldn't look at the chat. I should think of my own questions. Okay. Oh my God, what's a good question? What's a good question? Was your dad sick to his stomach when you shaved your beard? Is that racist? That's a good one. That's a good one. By the way, guys, I found this dude on Instagram, and this guy is going viral. You've had to have seen him. Like, there's no way you guys have not seen him. One of his videos has 60 million freaking views. And it is the funniest shit I have seen on the internet, like in the past, I don't know, 5 years. It is like literally the funniest thing, but it's also kind of, he's like going into stores and he's causing problems, to say the least, but it's hilarious. His name is Heston James. Has anyone seen this stuff? The guy who goes into the store and then screams, and then like he's in the back, and then he gaslights the workers that were like, "Hey, are you screaming?" We could I could show you guys, and after like his last 3 videos, 4.7 million, 6.8 million, 61 million, 21 million, 6.5 million, 22 million, 10 million, 11 million. Not like, we talk about viral. It's actually hilarious. All right, after this question, I'll show you guys. But he's a menace to society also. But like, this popped up on Instagram. I was like, this is just like, I can't stop laughing at this stuff. But it's like, it's sad because like he's messing with the peace and stuff. But okay, cool. All right, what's the question? Oh, I got a good one. I think this is good for the OGs. If you, I think I got it. Okay, here we go. Very simple. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What biotech ticker did I lose $20,000 on 5 years ago? What biotech ticker did I lose $20,000 on 5 years ago? Oh, Eric, you got it. Eric got it. PPBT. Eric got it. Eric, I think that was a good question. That was not a bad question. That was a good one. That was definitely a question that you needed to be part of the stream for a while to know about. Only Big Billy got it after him. And then I'm Beneficial got it after him. Only 3 of you. And then Toby, you got it as well. Like 4 to 5 of you got it. The rest of you guys still didn't get it. mRNA, no. Grinder, no. BNGO is a good guess because that one like lost people money, but that was not it. Ginkgo, I never lost money on, but Ginkgo, if I had held, I would have lost some money on. But PPBT, where's their stock, by the way? I haven't looked at this thing in so long. This stock is, of course, down 40% year to date after like 1 billion reverse splits. Max, it's all time. Look at this Max chart, bro. It's down 99.5%. That's how bad this is, dude. That's how bad. All right, Eric, message me on X and you will get a $25 Amazon gift card. So there we go. Dude, we should do more of these. We should day trade earnings, and whatever money I get, because it'll probably be like 50 to 100 bucks, we'll just give it away at the end. It requires being good at day trading the earnings, which, I mean, I don't think I'm good at. Got kind of lucky with Nike, but it actually makes it more fun. Hopefully we do it. It should be like 10 to 50 shares of a day trade on a company I actually like. Like if I had to bag hold Nike, I wouldn't really care. If I had to bag hold like FedEx, like I would care. I don't want FedEx, but like Nike is, you got a little dividends or whatever, right? Like you could deal with holding it. So maybe we do it on like fun names. And if we win, then we don't have to hold it, right? Because then we trade it, we make some money, and then we go from there. Okay, cool. So there we go. So let me, okay. So now the market close is done. We're done for the day. Nike earnings was the main thing, along with that DOE argument or executive order from Trump. And then we had Micron and Fedex. So that is pretty much it for today. The second half of the AIPCon interviews are going to be uploaded in about 2 hours. It's going to be a Palantir executive I interviewed, TWG, and a couple other companies. Some really good interviews. I got your guys' feedback yesterday. You guys really liked the Wendy's one, which I thought you guys were going to like. The Wendy's interview was good. So yeah, the other 4 of those will be uploaded today in a couple hours. If you lose, do we have to pay you? No, you guys won't have to pay me. All right, cool. We'll keep doing this. This will be fun. Hopefully we can effectively day trade some of this stuff. All right, cool. So here's the Instagram thing that I saw, bro. And now, if you don't want loud noises, mute and cover your ears. But this is like obnoxious stuff. Some of you guys are going to cringe at this, but it is so damn funny. And I can't explain how funny it is, but it is funny. Okay, so let me pull it up. The handle on this guy's Instagram is what is his name? What's his name? Heston James. Okay, let me pull it up. Okay, so we're gonna watch a couple of these, but dude, I'm telling you, it is like the reason I'm showing it is because of how viral it's going. I wouldn't show this if it was just like some random prank, but this is like doing like Mr. Beast type of numbers, and this guy is like no one's heard of this guy ever, and it's kind of insane. Okay, so let me pull a couple of these up. This is the one that got 20 million views. I think this is the first one that I saw. All right, we can watch a couple of these. Again, it's gonna be loud, so get ready for it. All right, here you go. Here we go. It's a pure menace to society. It's ridiculous, but it is also hilarious. Okay. Okay.
I don't see any females.
It had to be a girl. What was that? I'm so scared right now. Oh my God, there it is again.
Might be like a kid or something.
Someone could have really needed help. That first one scared the hell out of me. Right, guys? There it is again. All right, someone's screwing around. Did you guys just hear it? Right over there, right? That's you guys. You guys got to go.
What happened to the people in the back?
They're
Oh
just,
no, there's just screaming. Do you guys know what's going on?
It's coming from over here. We're trying to work, and you guys are coming from this direction, so it just looks a little weird.
it looks weird. Wait, hold on. I just heard it again.
I heard it
guess
again.
It's not any of us.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
It was one of you two jack-offs.
Get out! What is happening?
It was one of you two. Get out.
We're all trying to stop.
No, we're trying to shop. And you guys are being rude.
Get out!
We need you out.
What? I wasn't doing it.
These guys weren't doing it.
Yeah.
I know, but they came up here and
Yeah.
started screaming.
Okay, here's another one. That one wasn't as funny. This is the one that got 60 million views.
From a different location. Let's get this ironed out. Check your HR emails. We were going into a different one. They didn't need us there. They sent us here. You guys are good to go. What do you mean we're good to go? Go ahead and bring the guys in. You don't mind?
You're not even on the phone, dude. Come on, get out of the store.
See if I was on the phone or not. Here. You guys can get to work. We're all good. Everyone get to work. If you guys want to go ahead and take over the lanes, go ahead.
Get out.
Hey,
Guys,
out.
No, go ahead and take over the lanes. Go ahead and I need people that self-check.
You need to get
I'm
out.
the district, and these are my workers.
I'm the
These
store.
are my workers.
You guys need to
Customer,
go.
you're good. Wait.
Customer 8, I got y'all right here.
Look.
No. Do not let him on the lane. You guys get off the lane. You guys do not.
Again, it's stupid, but like it's going ridiculously viral. Here's another one that also has 20 million views.
Tyler, come help me, baby! Tyler, get your ass over here!
I'm gonna have to ask you to.
What?
Because you're screaming my name and I don't like it.
I wasn't screaming your name. Why would I scream your name? I didn't even know your name.
Tyler!
See? Someone's calling your name. I think so. I think he needs your help. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask you guys to leave.
Me? I was near Tyler when it happened. Where is he? I was near him.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
I told
Oh,
you guys.
see?
I think they came in after.
I
There's a
can't.
third guy in here somewhere.
Okay, so there's someone else. Name someone. You better know for certain.
Alright.
Don't sit here and blame someone if you don't know for sure. At least get an apology for
I
that.
apologize if it wasn't you, sir.
Okay, well, just come on, dude. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so some of you guys might think it's funny. Some of you guys might think it's absolutely stupid. It was funny the first time I saw it. It's not funny anymore. But like, yeah, after the second time you watch, it's not that funny. But the point is, it is going insanely viral. And it's one of those things I saw last night. And it's like, they're racking up hundreds of millions of views. And if anything, and he just has more and more and more of these. I'll put it in the chat if anyone wants to hear it. And it's kind of insane because it is, I don't think it's fake, dude. Well, it's not fake views because it's Instagram. But it is like just disturbing the peace, and they're gaslighting the employees because they're bringing other people to to yell when the employees figure out it's them yelling. And in one of the videos, he had like 7 friends. And every time the employees thought they found someone, they had another friend yelling at another aisle. And then the employees felt bad. And it's just a hodgepodge of a mess. It's absolutely a mess. It's recycled pranks. Security cams can see them. Yeah, that's true. But it's pretty ridiculous. Spencer says, bro, show them the one where they're like in a furniture store or something and got access to the back room. I didn't see that one, but see, Spencer's seen it. This is why we need to get rid of the Department of Education. It's stupid, bro. It is so dumb, but like this is not my generation. This is Gen Alpha. I'm Gen Z. I at least get a little bit of leeway here. But yeah, this thing is literally going viral. A lot of you guys are older, so you probably are just like annoyed by this. It's stupid. But this is what kids are doing right now for views. Some of you guys have seen it, right? The reason I feel bad about I would love to show this to Steve, and Steve sends me the most ridiculous Instagram conspiracy reels every day. I'm gonna send it to Steve right now and see if he actually laughs at this. The reason I don't like watching it is because I'm like, they're disturbing the peace. Like if I was a worker at one of those stores, I'd be so annoyed. But then I'm also like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's like stupid, but it's kind of funny. So yeah, there you go. Is this a bottom indicator? That's what people are doing instead of trading stocks. I would love to see Steve's Instagram algorithm. It's all aliens, bro. It's literally all alien reels about if we're having aliens or not. It is what it is. I mean, it's not that funny when I watched it the second time, but when I was watching it last night, I was like, dude, this is like, I was binging all of them. I was like, this is horrible. I think it's the fact that someone even does that in a store. Everyone wants to see someone do something like crazy, but then you realize that the fact that they're doing it is not good. But then the way they architect the reel is kind of funny to me. The thing that I thought was interesting is like, where do they take this from here, right? So like once you get all this attention, does he turn into like a violent Mr. Beast that does like stupid shit, whereas Mr. Beast like gives away money and stuff? And how long can this be relevant? Like doing the same thing every single time. There's another guy. I don't know if you've seen this guy. This guy, he pays people $20 to scream as loud as they can in a private or like in a library or in a mall or something like that. You guys have had to see this guy. He's also going viral and he's getting like hundreds of thousands of views as well. So yeah, I thought some of you guys might have thought it's funny. Some of you guys might have not, but that's what I saw yesterday. It's like back in the day, the videos of the bros going into Walmart and doing the monkey noise and you'd hear more monkey noise from more bros. Yes, exactly. That's exactly like it was. Sokol says, my generation was prank calling, egging houses, and TPing houses. My generation like also had prank calling to an extent. Like that's when the original prank channels were on YouTube. But now this is like, you know, TikTok stuff. So drunk off mocktails. We need a mocktail. I don't know, bro. Last night it was kind of funny. I was looking at them and I was like, it was kind of funny. And I started binging them. But yeah, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. We just had Tide Pods. Yeah, I forgot there were a good amount of people buying Tide or eating Tide Pods. So I never watched Jackass growing up. I mean, I've heard of it. I think I saw clips of it. Jackass was the same thing. It was doing stupid, crazy shit that people would laugh at. But they don't do that too much anymore. At least they kept a straight face. Well, that's the other thing. If I was them, I would die laughing. But in these, whoever this guy is, he's able to at least keep a straight face doing it right now. So there you go. That was the Instagram virality thing that was going on. You know what's really funny about this? That the Instagram algo actually took it to be as viral as it is. Because sometimes the algo just doesn't want to promote this type of stuff. But like, this is why people say Instagram's brain rot. Because like, quite literally, for this to get 60 million views, I mean, like, this is a lot of brain rot for a lot of kids that are watching this shit. But there it is. Jackass was way funnier. Well, MTV is not even really a thing anymore, right? They don't even really make that type of content anymore. What was the other one? Tosh.0. What was that thing called? That one also did some, yeah, Tosh.0 or something. They did some weird stuff on that as well. Admit, I refuse to believe you think that was funny. It was funnier last night when I was watching it. Now it's not as funny, but it was funnier last night. All right, cool. So that is pretty much it. For those that won the giveaways, make sure you message me on X, and I will make sure you get that money. And yeah, and we'll keep going from there. That's pretty much it. Amit, I thought you didn't have an Instagram. I have an Instagram, but I don't use it. Like, did you guys use Instagram? Are you actually on Instagram? I don't use it. Like, I feel like I should post more on there, but I just don't care about Instagram. Like, I don't use it. It's just like not a thing. So I don't know. I've never like really, I mean, I'll put my Instagram in the chat if anyone wants to follow, but I don't really like, I don't use it. So if you want to follow me, there's the Instagram, but I don't post anything. I don't use it. I'm on X. X is what I use more than anything. I deactivated both Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I don't click on Facebook that much anymore either. But sometimes when like, when something happens politically, you go on Facebook and you just see like how people are reacting. It's like night and day from X. It's like a totally different generation reacting as well. Okay, I think that is it. In the context of these earnings, Micron is up 3%, gave away that 6%. Lennar's down 3%. Fedex down a nasty 5%. Nike, it's a good thing we sold, guys. That is up only 1%, less than 1%. Micron still up 3%. Looks like the call maybe not going the best for Nike, but we got out at 74.75. We got out at 74. All right, cool stuff. I'm going to ask my mom about this DOE thing, and we'll see what she thinks about the Department of Education being pseudo shut down. This is again, something I think he might be able to get away with to an extent, but not necessarily in the context of getting Congress's approval. By the way, Morgan Stanley just came out. They just lowered Tesla from 430 to 410. They said weak deliveries lower core auto and auto network services valuation, but they're still overweight. This is Adam Jonas. This is another famous Tesla analyst. 430 to 410. It's interesting, bro. All of them are realizing Q1's going to suck when it comes to deliveries. Some of them are getting more bearish and bringing them back to 300. The other ones are still maintaining the elevated valuation based on the narrative. But all of them are recognizing that Q1's probably going to suck. And that's what we're seeing right now. Okay, cool. That's it. Also, one other headline. Gene sent me this. Lyft is launching driverless rides as soon as this summer. Lyft said today they are looking at getting a self-driving fleet by the end of this summer to launch partner mobility rides. And Atlanta would be the first place where they start. So we are seeing this self-driving revolution start across the entire part of the country. Waymo, Tesla, Uber, and now you got Lyft as well. All right, cool. That's it. The rest of the AIPCon interviews will be out later in like 2 hours. And then Friday. Tomorrow's freaking Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Market open. We will be back tomorrow. All right. For those that won the giveaway, please make sure to DM me on X, and I'll make sure you guys get your gift card soon. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Market Open. Bye, everyone.